Yeah, just one second. I'm just checking like if there's anything else I need to discuss. Let me share my screen. Okay, so I hope my screen is visible now. Okay, so just to kind of complete the stack part, there's one small example that I like to kind of quickly showcase you guys. So this is actually when you are kind of dealing with, like, let's say the pen testing, you want to understand a thing in a much more deeper way. You can't just depend on like C language or Python language. You also need to understand the assembly language in a much deeper way. That's the one which is actually near out what CPU understand. The CPU doesn't understand Python language or let's say C language. It only understands, let's say, binary. And the closest language that you can reach out to the binary is the assembly language that you are saying right now at this side. Okay. And now I'll just quickly kind of see like, okay, what things are happening over here. Okay. So this is the stack memory over here. And when you say the push EX, the EX register value is kind of stored over here. Then the function is being called. And before the function is called, so in the similar way, like this instruction is pushing the value of register value to this stack memory. And when this function is being called, the function name is foo. Before that, this instruction, which is add ESP4, that address is kind of stored over here. Okay, return added UI. Okay, and then what will happen? This function will execute the similar way what we saw earlier. Okay, what we saw earlier, and this function will execute. And let's say this function execute, and let me just do one thing. And once that's done, like the stack memory will be cleared, and thing is that it will again come back to this line, the add ESP4, once the function is kind of complete. So thing is that I was all trying to kind of explain you guys what stack memory is all about made of. And now thing is that now since you have kind of got a good terminology about how the, let's say, the terms are there, like CPU registers and the stack memory looks like. Now let's see certain thing in action. Let's say what we will be trying to do is we will be trying to have a remote control of a Windows XP machine, okay, of the Windows XP machine from my Mac system. Okay, from a Mac system, I will try to get hold of the Windows XP machine. Okay, so this is what we will try to see. And for that, what we will do is that we will not fully depend on the Metasploit tool, but we will be using at least one of the component of the Metasploit, only one of the component, which is actually related to kind of generating a cell. And cell is something I'll explain later, but you can do that even without the using of tool. So one of the component of that tool, which I'll be kind of explaining. Okay, and then we'll use Python programming, and then what we'll do is that we'll try to kind of get remote control of the Mac operating system. Okay, so let's now. I think there's no other thing to kind of discuss before kind of jumping to the exploit writing part. Okay. So now give me once again, let me just quickly set up that lab for you. Give me 1 minute, guys, now. Okay, guys, I think I got disconnected for a while. So now thing is that let me quickly share my screen, and my screen should be visible now. Okay, so let's do it. And thing is that let me share my screen now. So my screen should be visible, my audio should be fine. And now what we do is that we start up with our thing. Okay. Okay, so how the setup is looking like is that we have a Windows XP machine that is running virtually on my Mac system. Okay, and what we are going to do is we are going to get a remote control of this system, the XP system, from my Mac system. Okay. So from my Mac system, I will try to kind of reach out and kind of get a remote control of the Windows operating system remotely in an unauthorized way, like by exploiting a specific vulnerability. And that vulnerability today that I will be kind of discussing about is called buffer overflow attack. Okay. So using buffer overflow attack, what I will be doing is that let's imagine that this is a system that is of a user, and the user is using Windows XP for an example. Okay. And as an attacker, I am in this system. This is my system, the one that I'm highlighting that on the terminal screen. And from that, what I'm doing is that I will be trying to, trying to get a remote control of this victim. Okay. And try to kind of get a remote control and try to execute any command of my choice without the knowledge of the user. And thing is that, guys, reiterating, this is how the what's actual pen testing is all about, what exploit writing is all about. Okay, this is something. So normal one of the thing which I have planned earlier was there were like as I told, there were like almost 7 to 8 days of theory content. I have split that to kind of give you a much better understanding of how the lab actually works, like in a much deeper way. And that's the only reason why I am kind of discussing this whole thing in much more detail, because this will kind of help you in understanding in real scenario how the vulnerability assessment, how the exploit writing really works. And thing is that most of the time when I have been kind of like for myself, I was kind of trying to kind of uh, reach out to certain companies where in the exploit development field. The thing is that no one cares that you are able to execute Metasploit tool, how pentester actually does that. No one kind of few guys cares about that. Okay, but the core company who are in the field of, let's say, developing the Metasploit tool itself, like Rapid7 and all, which I was discussing, they are all they all wanted to know is that how Metasploit tool actually works in background, and can you add new modules to the Metasploit tool? Can you make certain more modification to the Metasploit tool itself? And that